Okay, I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our co-founder trainings for Pool Funding, and very excited about today. Today is Thursday. It is May 8th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we got a nice group here. A lot of friendly faces. Okay, so got several things I want to cover with you guys today. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen, kind of go through a list of things here. All right, so let's jump into our website. Give it a nice refresh. Okay. So again, we're very serious about not selling any PF coins during the month of May, right? And that's all because we haven't hit our price targets, and basically we don't want to do any selling of any coins until we hit all of our price targets. It's not going to take that much for us to get to our price targets, but we shouldn't have to be working against any selling pressure from our members. There's a collaboration and a cooperation. We need to work together. So we don't need anybody selling. And if they do, then they're going to suffer a 30-day penalty. And they won't have access to their account for 30 days. Okay. All right. So down below here is something new. Okay. We've got the pool funding commitment, and it comes with a video, and every word spoken on the video shows up here in the script below it. Okay. This right here makes it very clear how we're going to be able to move forward by every individual member being fully committed to what we're doing. Okay, so we're making it very clear what that commitment is inside of here and what the consequences are. There will be some swift enforcement, swift and strict enforcement done for those that kind of want to work against us, and not be committed. The last thing we want is something like this, where you know, you know, one person here is getting all the advantage at the expense of everyone else, right? We don't want that to happen, right?
No.
Okay, so we want this to be a win for everybody. So that's why we got to stick to that commitment. All right. Now, you may have noticed that if you go into your um, distributed coins, you may have noticed that we have paused. It's been paused for a bit of time already. Okay. Let's expand that to 30. Go to the next page. So yeah, basically the entire month of May so far, and we're already in the eighth day of May now. But as you can see here, when it comes time to catch up, we'll catch up just like you see here, like it was 428, 428, 428. We do catch ups. Like even here's a long catch up one where it was 424, 424, 424, 424, 420. So we'll catch up with the people that we know and trust. Okay. Those that don't fit into that trusted category, their distributions are over. Okay. So we are no longer going to be distributing to anyone we don't trust. And so we're going to go through a process here to identify who we can trust and who we can't. Okay. And I hope I get your full support on that because we have been in a battle here with our prices being pushed down by people that we don't trust. Apparently, these people can't be trusted after we tell them not to. I mean, the entire month of April, we were supposed to have no selling, but there was selling happening. And even here in the beginning of May, there's been some selling. There's been a lot less in the last couple of days, but still, when you look at all of our coins, we're not getting to our price targets because of selling pressure coming from just a few knuckleheads. Okay. So we'll sort who of those out, make sure they don't get any more ammunition, and that'll be that. Okay. All right.
Good.
So let's see here. Um, I'm working on a new video right now. I'm gonna give you a glimpse. This is to help people with cash flow. Okay, help them understand the cash flow. So even the first, this is going to probably be at least a two-part video series, where it explains, how to cash flow in pool funding. So starts out by saying how to create cash flow using the $777 giveaway. Get paid to give away money. That's an exciting idea, isn't it? Every time someone accepts the offer to receive $777 from our giveaway, you get a referral. What is the value of a referral to you? How does $4,015 a year sound to you? It gets better. Later, that same referral could be worth $405,515 a year to you. So don't make the mistake of believing we're using small numbers to pay you. $11 may sound small, but that is how much you get in the beginning from your referrals every single day. $11 times 365 days comes to $4,015. It adds up. And it continues to go into the process of cash flowing and what that's all about. So it kind of gives kind of a real visual experience of what it's going to be like to go through our giveaway to the point of creating cash flow. So that should be very helpful when it's done. It's going to take time, obviously. I'm just in the scripting aspect of it. I think I'm feeling pretty good about the current script here. So this is the script of video one. And the last paragraph on video one is going to be consider the first $11 from your first referral pass-through money. The second referral starts your journey of getting cash flow you can use to pay your personal bills. You can sign up an unlimited number of personal referrals, and each one will expand your daily cash flow by $11 each. Stay tuned in. The next cash flow training video will explain how your cash flow from your referrals will increase to $111 a day and what triggers that to happen. Pool funding is amazing. So there you go. You got kind of the bookends on that video in progress. We're creating that. Okay. Let's see what else I want to share. Yeah, it's just going to be much better once these numbers here in the holding box and the distributor box, and those numbers are much bigger behind the dollar sign because we've hit our targets. It's just going to be really easy to grow, showing those bigger numbers. And so we need to do a mad dash to that hitting those targets. And just to remind you, the targets are: we want to get to $500,000 on PFI. That's our first target. Okay, target price, $500,000. And then on PFB, it's $1 million. On PFS, it's $2 million. And on PFG, it's $4 million. So we want to hit all those targets. Those are the first targets. Once we hit the targets, then we'll open it up, so we'll allow some selling, but again, it needs to be very measured. When you go through the pool funding commitment, it makes it very clear that you should never sell more than the 24-hour volume, like more than 10% of that number of the positive portion of the 24-hour volume. Okay, so if you choose to shortchange yourself, that's fine after we've hit our targets, but do it in a way that's not going to be make these dramatic candles going down. All right, so stick within the guidelines. Let me share my screen. I'll show you something else here. All right, so let's see here. We have a new poster. There it is. First of all, the last time I checked, we've got 3,136 active users right now, guys. Okay, that's how many people are making their payments every day right now. Okay.
That's good.
So what you may not realize is that if everybody just did $1 a day of a purchased coin, just $1 a day from everyone, that would get us to our targets pretty fast, believe it or not. We get to our price targets pretty fast. And what's the value here? Okay. So what would happen if every active member purchased $1 of any of our pool funding coins daily? Short answer is we'd hit all of our price targets much faster. Remember, no selling of any of our coins until after we reach all of our price targets. But look at the personal benefit here with these low prices that we have now and where our price targets will take us. By purchasing $1 now, and when the price of PFI is at 2,194, when we hit our price target, the amount of PFI coin you'll be holding at the time that we hit our price target would be valued at $228. So that's like $1 buying you $228. That's a good deal, right?
And 28x.
Yeah, exactly. These are all the X's. And so PFB, with the price at 13,357, $1 then would become $75. So purchasing $75 for only $1. It's a good deal. PFS, it's 13,532. That's worth $148. Okay. Just remember the price target of PFB is 1 million and the price target of PFS is 2 million, right? So you can see how that kind of works out here. And then PFG, we're already at a pretty good price target at 1,215,581. So $1 at the first price target will be like purchasing $3.30. Still, that's pretty good. That's most people would be happy to double their money, but if you could, more than triple your money, that's awesome. But so you have
Good.
some outrageous opportunity right now. So, if you can do more than $1, great. But I just think if we could create a habit, if we could kind of put within the culture, not a mandate, not a commandment, not a like you have to, okay? But instead you get to, okay? You get to just add to your routine purchasing $1 of a coin. Pick one of the coins and buy $1 worth. So as you're making your payments every day, that 2 minute activity, just add another 30 seconds to that routine by picking a coin and swapping a little bit of USDT, swapping out $1 worth of USDT for it. That just takes a few more seconds of your time and $1. Let's face it, I think all of us make $1 decisions every day where we're literally just throwing dollars away. Wouldn't you guys agree? I mean, how many
Yeah.
times do we do things and we're just like that about, how the price of a cup of coffee or a donut or whatever it is, hey, you might be into, okay? I think we throw our money away all the time on stuff that's not really helping us in our future. So let's see if we can get to our price targets much sooner. I'll tell you one thing. I know a lot of what you might consider bigger investors within our community. They're watching what the small guy's doing. Okay. And if a bunch of you start going in there every day and buying $1, it'll show up in the charts that you're doing it. And then believe me, the ones that have a larger chunk of change to put in, into the coins, it would inspire them to do so, right? And we get to our price targets even faster. So your little $1 might inspire someone to come in with $500, $1,000, $5,000, right? And we get to our price targets so fast. So don't underestimate your own value and what you can do, your contribution to this. Let me put it to you another way. What do you get in pool funding? All right, let's start at the top of the list. First of all, you get 100% commission, right? Is that a good deal or not?
Yes.
100% commission is a good deal, right?
Best in the business.
That's the best. Yeah, I can't get better than that.
Right.
And so, so you're getting 100% commission. And I think that's worthy of you're showing a little gratitude. And sometimes gratitude, best way to show gratitude is a little, kind of, you know, spend a little bit of money, demonstrating your
Gotcha.
gratitude. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Well, spend's not the right word, is it? It's more like invest, isn't it? Because you're getting a return, right? So it's not like you're spending it like the money's gone. It's like you're putting money to work, right? See, the principle that one of the principles we sit on in pool funding is something called the future value of money. Okay. And what that means is that if the money is working, it has a greater future value than what it currently is at the moment. Okay. So if you have $1 here and it's just sitting there underneath the mattress in your bedroom, okay, then it's got a future value of basically zero. It's not going to grow any. You're going to pull it out from underneath your mattress one day and it's still $1, isn't it? Right. But you put it somewhere where it's going to grow, right? There's lots of opportunities out there. Pool funding is not the only place, but anywhere you put it where it could actually increase and grow in value, then what you have is a future value, right? You have the future value there, and we're set up to have some very large gains when it comes to future value of money. So let's do that. Let's see if we can shift our culture and make it clear that the main thing that we're doing in the first year, so we're a brand new person today. We join kind of like a Cliffietta here. She's brand new, right? So when you first come in, to pool funding, you might be receiving at first, right? You might be receiving some of our giveaway and whatnot, things like that. But that's great. But at some point, you're going to put something of your own in there and put that to work. Okay. And of course that's going to grow. It's going to become more valuable. So sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. It's almost like a Harley Davidson going by, but it's a very loud bike going by. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. I want to bring it back for a second. Okay, so you're a brand new person. You're looking at the coins that you're accumulating. They're going to go up in value. Okay. Um, and that's because what's happening is that this accumulation that you're doing in the first year, you are not really selling the coin. If you're really smart, it's all about the bonus. It came back. Okay, here it is. Everybody should know by now that the co-founder bonus is 10x. Okay, so let me share my screen and show you that. The way 10x works, let's say you had one coin. When you get your bonus, you're getting 10 additional coins. So you have that one still, and we added 10 more to your pile of coin. So that's how it works. So we're not saying this coin is going to go up in value by 10. We're actually adding to your pile of coin in this bonus, the co-founder bonus. We're adding to your pile of coin 10 additional times whatever you're holding. So whatever you're holding at the time of receiving the bonus in PFI, PFB, PFS, PFG, all of them, whatever you're holding on the day of receiving the bonus, you're going to get 10 times whatever you are holding at that point. Okay, now you have 11 times what you had to begin with, right? So you began with one, now you're at 11 times. 1 plus 10 is 11. Okay, so that's huge, and so you want to maximize that. So why would you want to sell your coin ever in that first year? Because it takes about a year to fully qualify in order to collect your bonus. So the point of selling it doesn't even make sense, even selling a little bit. Think about this, guys. We've seen people who have sold PFI recently, okay? And we've seen people sell $5, $10, small amounts of PFI. But when you consider that when we hit our price target shortly, which I'm expecting that to happen soon, like in a couple of weeks, okay? Imagine if you sold $5, then what's $5 times 228?
1,000.
I mean, it's pretty close to $1,000, right?
Yep.
Does a person realize they're throwing $1,000 away that they could be holding a couple weeks from now because they wanted to have $5 today, right? Does it really does that even fit into what someone might call common sense? Okay, where you'd want to, have $5 today, sacrificing $1,000 in a couple of weeks to have that $5. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, it really doesn't. So we want to get to our price target, so we all can do something about it. Even the smallest among us can come in and pitch in $1 every day. That would definitely make a difference. Okay, we would get there so fast. All right, so that's the points I wanted to make today. Those are my announcements. Oh, yeah, so distribution is on hold. Oh, I got a big announcement for you. Okay, I'm not done with the announcements. I got more. The program has been working very, very hard on a I would call it a system upgrade. Okay, where basically you could just click one button and join pool funding by clicking a button. How's that sound, guys?
Fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah. So you can register with
Sounds right.
one click. So basically, people have Google accounts, right? Gmail or whatever. They have Google accounts, connect with Google. People have Facebook accounts, connect with Facebook. So those options will be there in the registration page that they could just click and attach to an existing account like Google or Facebook. And it gets better. When they do that, they're going to get a wallet already made for them. Okay. Now we didn't build the wallet. Well, my programmer didn't build the wallet. It's a third-party platform, a super popular third-party platform that MetaMask loves, by the way. They love this third party. Okay. And one of the reasons we're getting a little bit of a scary notice sometimes from MetaMask is because we're not using this third party currently, And so by then using that third party, it would make MetaMask happier. But the wallet you get is not MetaMask, so it'll be a different wallet. Okay, but it works like MetaMask. You can send, receive, swap, buy, sell. You could do all the same things in this wallet that you can do on MetaMask, but it is a different brand. And and then you could also use the software to attach MetaMask. Okay, so the old members don't really have to do much. Okay, the new members will have options. Okay, they'll have several options on how to get started, including a one-click to get started. Instantly, they get a wallet, so they don't have to, they don't have to go grab the MetaMask app and download it and go through all that, right? So that kind of eliminates kind of a little bit of an onboarding task that most of us have kind of gotten used to, but it's been troublesome for us when we're trying to do these paid signups for you. For those of you that have paid for paid signups, we've actually had 6 times as many people opt in and give us information like a email, phone number, name, and yet didn't complete the process. They got kind of stuck on the step of getting MetaMask and connecting it to our website. That's where most people are getting stuck at that step right there. And so by having this new one click to sign up with pool funding, feature system upgrade, that's going to make it much easier for us to fill orders, I think. And among some other things I want to add to that process to make it, improve it. But this is huge because they'll already have a wallet that they don't have to go chase. They don't have to go anywhere and find a wallet. They can just use the wallet that the new system upgrade will provide them through the one-click process. How does that sound, guys?
Right.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So that's
Sounds like a
Excellent.
winner. Really
Yeah,
good.
that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so this is working on it, but unfortunately, it's been a big project. Not something the programmer can knock out in a week or so. It's taking longer than that. And so other things that I want to do, which includes basically a trusted member page that I want to build so that our executive team can connect with all the people that are on the list of receiving distributed coins. Then we can kind of interview them quickly, check them out, make sure that we can trust them, and then turn their what you would call it, their distributions back on, so they can start receiving distributions again. Okay, well, that's been kind of put off um, until the programmer finishes this particular thing, which he said today would be the day it'd be done. Okay, I hope so. I hope so. I hope it happens today. It could happen today. I'm really hoping it will. It could. I've seen the progress, and I know the last time I looked at it, he was very, very close to being done. And so once that's done and working, and the main thing I'm concerned about is that it needs to make the experience of the old member like non-issue. Like it doesn't disturb old members at all by doing the system upgrade, you know? So I don't want anything where you got to relearn something or you got to do something different and we got to communicate that with thousands of you. I don't want that, you know. It has to be something smooth that it's old members can migrate to it if they want to it, but they don't have to. They can keep on using MetaMask, no problem. And new members you'll just get this new improved system automatically, going forward, you know. So that's the way it's supposed to go down. And so that's what I'm looking for. Once that's done, then I'm going to, put together a page, an administrative page that our executive team will be using and have access to, so we can, interview, it's a few hundred of you. There's a few hundred of you we need to kind of go through and check on each one of you and make sure you're legit. There's one of you, there's not like one of you with 10 accounts, but there's just one of you with one account, and 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 everything's good, right? You're doing the right thing, and you're committed to the pool funding commitment. So you're signing off on you're agreeing to the terms that are now posted on the account page. So read that carefully, watch the video, study it, so you know the commitment. Because as long as everyone adheres to the commitment, we all win. It's those people that want to violate the commitment, they're trying to get an advantage over the rest and at the expense of the rest, right? They're trying to get trying to get a gain at the expense of everyone else. And we're not interested in that. And anybody who wants to kind of, show us that that's kind of the kind of people that they are, we'll root them out. And just like you're not a fit. You're not a co-founder type. You don't match the title. Okay. So see ya. Go do some other opportunity, give them havoc. Okay. So that's where that's gonna go. All right, Hunter, you have a hand up, buddy. What's up?
Yes, question. After the system upgrade, will it still be possible for new users to primarily use MetaMask rather than the internal wallet?
They wouldn't need to ever get MetaMask.
Right, but if they already have it, if they're someone knowledgeable in crypto like myself, would they have to just switch over to a new wallet, or can they keep using MetaMask or whatever they're
If
using?
if they're knowledgeable, they could probably complete the sign up process where the wallet that they'll use and attach to the website would be MetaMask. Yeah. So
Alrighty.
but for someone that has no help and just signing themselves up themselves, this one click thing makes it a no-brainer. Anyone can do it. It's just a
Right,
click, just a
right.
click, and it works. And it'll just be set up. But Yeah, I think with certain instructions for someone that's determined to keep on using MetaMask or actually use MetaMask, as a new user, probably a pathway for that. But, we're speculating a little bit here because we haven't seen what the programmer's finished yet, but I've seen that one of the options in this is select MetaMask. I've seen that. So I know you can select MetaMask.
Gotcha.
So, all right, there we go. Okay, so good enough. So that's my announcements now. There's quite a few things to consider, being that we're at the end of the week here. It's Thursday. And we're at the end of the week. The next time we get together will be on Monday for the next co-founder training. So I'm gonna turn off my Telegram because it's
Are you gonna have a whale? Are
beeping
you
at
gonna
me
have
like
a whale
crazy.
party?
I'm going to have a party, but not a well party.
No.
It's going to be a party at my coffee shop with some
Wow.
Filipino leaders. Okay.
Oh,
So that's how I'll be using my Saturday morning meeting with them. They're basically coming for lunch, and yeah, yeah, it's I I know myself, and if I try to cram too much into one day, you know, I'm not as effective. Sorry.
mhm.
But right now, I'm hoping that will inspire the Wells for the, in the next well rally, which most likely be the next Saturday. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. That by everybody just paying $1 every day. We get a whole bunch of you in the routine of paying $1 every day. Okay, buying $1 worth of PF coins every day, and that helps our price kind of move along. And people that want to buy more than $1, of course they could and would and should, and there's a big advantage to do it now when the prices are at these super low points. Um, and then by the time we have our next well party, there'll be some ongoing momentum that's already in play, and then instead of seeing the charts go up and then down and then later on go up, we just want to see it kind of go up and up and up, until we hit our price targets. We should have no selling pressure. Should have no selling pressure at this point. The ones that will be working against us, the ones that will be foolish enough to sell out cheap, they don't even have that much ammunition. They don't have that much coin to even sell, right? They don't have that much. So, you know, it's just the for every 2,000 smart ones of you, there's maybe one fool, so the odds are in our favor, right? Most of you are pretty smart about this thing. We're not really dealing with that many people who are dragging us down. All right. So let's get into the meat of today's meeting. I wanted to be talking about today, kind of like what Carrie was saying. Carrie from Thailand. Hi, Carrie from Thailand. Hello. Last week she was saying, it'd be great to hear from other members, what they find that's working, for them. And let me start out. I'm old school, guys. Marketing is not my strong suit. Okay. So I'm not the guy who's going to go out there and, I mean, I'm just not a marketing guy. That's not my deal. But I've got a long history as a sales guy. Okay. And I know words that work. So I'll lead off with some words that I think will work now. And it's actually going to be embedded in the video that I'm making here soon. And so let's see here. Let me share my screen. Carrie says she's got background noise. That's why she didn't answer. But we appreciate you typing that out in the chat so we know you're still there. All right, we go into the Word document. So here's some words that work. And I'll put this into the chat. This is tied into the giveaway. I thought I had highlighted it already. Okay, let me find it again. Let me find it. It's here. Wait, is that the right one? No, that's the wrong one. Okay, so let's get the right Word document in front of me here. Create cash flow. Okay, this is what I want. Okay. Got too many documents open. All right, so here's some words that work. Okay, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you guys to see. So you might say something to, your best friend or your brother, your sister, someone, close to you in the family. Okay, you might say something like this to them. Hey, let's set up a time for you to meet my new business partner. I told them all about you and they'd love to meet you. We're promoting a giveaway by pool funding, and I'm already getting money from it every day now. It hasn't cost me anything out of my pocket to collect this money, and you can get the same thing too. Something like that, right? Of course, everybody's going to have their own little personality and they're going to say the same idea in their own little way of saying it. But I think that's a good way to start the conversation is to say, go for the objective. The objective is a meeting with your sponsor, right? AKA your new business partner, right? So let's set up a time for you to meet my new business partner. I told them about you and they'd love to meet you, right? So this is common language you have with people. People do this all the time, when they're starting businesses or whatever, people talk and then introductions happen, and then people, well, what's this business all about? Well, we're promoting a giveaway by pool funding. So there you go. You're already telling them what it's all about. That we're promoting a giveaway by pool funding, and I'm already getting money from it every day now. So now you're saying, and the giveaway works for me too, right? I'm getting money from it. The give I'm receiving from the giveaway, and it hasn't cost me anything out of my pocket to collect this money. This, of course, is what a brand new person would say that's just barely joining, and you can get the same thing too. So something like that. So let me just go ahead and give you guys that. I'll just put that into the chat here on Zoom. And then you guys can reshape that to your own personality. Take it from there. Okay. So that's my 2 cents, is that you want to basically, this is the classic third party approach, right? Because when you're talking to friends and family, okay, they have a hard time listening to you, right? But if you can introduce them to your new business partner, right? And it's about getting money that you don't, getting free money, right? It's about getting some free money. I want you to meet my business partner. We're promoting a giveaway for pool funding about getting some free money. I already got some free money. Would you like to get some free money too? I want you to meet my new business partner. I told them all about you. They'd love to meet you, you know? And then that kind of stirs them up, like says, okay, why not? I can meet somebody new, doing something interesting and getting some money all in the same. Why not? And it should be kind of like that. Okay. So if you put someone in front of someone like myself, I'd be happy to play the role of my new business partner. I could be that for you, or your sponsor, or a leader that's a part of your team, that is willing to meet with your prospects, right? Whoever says that they'll help you, accept the help, okay? And yeah, set up the meeting, and um, and it should go a lot better when you talk about friends and family. Friends and family, it's much easier for them to listen to someone other than you. We know that. We know that. That's why the third party approach was, that's why it exists, because we know the human nature element here. Okay. Not to say that some of you don't already have enough self confidence and have enough credibility with the people that already know you, that you can then turn them on to what you're doing and they're interested. Okay. It's a little more of a challenge for people that don't quite, fall in that category. Sometimes families are divided. There can be some I'm not sure what word I want to use here. It's just kind of like, uh, everybody in the family thinks they're better than everybody else, you know. This brother thinks they're better than that brother. This brother thinks they're better than that brother, and they just might disagree. Um, and but I still feel like that if you're gonna look at pool funding for what it really is, it's all about getting paid to maintain a long-term relationship. And if you're already in a long-term relationship because of the blood running through your veins, your brother and sister, they got that same blood there running through their veins. You're already kind of tied into a long-term relationship anyway, you know, mom and dad, even your uncles and aunts and your cousins, they fall in that category, you know. So all those people that you already, that kind of exist in your, you know, I always ask people, who do you think is going to show up to your funeral? That's the list you want to talk to. That's you want to, okay, if you think someone's going to show up to your funeral, it's a good chance that you should probably include them in on the giveaway, you know. Let's see if we can get some money in their pocket before you die, okay? And that they can point to you and say, "Yep." And they'll have even more reason to show up to your funeral that way. You know what I'm saying? You help make them rich. So, so those existing relationships, they matter. Scott's asking, do you have one for strangers? I think the standard, hey, I'm in a position to give you some money. I'm part of a giveaway, and if we're giving out some money, would you like to receive? I think the direct I think the direct approach works, right? When you're talking to someone that you don't know. But also remember, you may not know them, and then you may not have established trust with them. So be careful, okay? Because you want to make sure that you're dealing with people that you trust. You don't want to be doing $111 things with people you don't trust. Okay. So you make sure that you get to a point, if you meet someone that you don't know and you want to invite them in on this, that you take steps towards establishing trust, and you're the one that has to decide just how far you'll go with anybody. Some people, you talk to them like, I think we should just start you at $1 every day, and let's just go there, and let's build our relationship. I'd be happy to do the 777, but I think I want to ease into that with you. So instead of only going 7 days, let's make the time longer than 7 days. Where you're going to get 777, but in front of it you're going to get more. Okay, see, that sounds good the way I put it, right? You're not going to get more, and you're not going to get less. You're going to get more. But what they're really doing is you're setting yourself up to build trust with people that you don't know. Okay, and bring them in on the giveaway. All right. So, how about you guys? So, for me, tried and true sales approach, use this. That seems to work for me. So, what's working for you guys? I know some of you guys have some interesting marketing campaigns going on, and this would be a great time to share what you're doing. If it's generating leads, if it's generating signups, we'd really like to hear about it. Okay. So I'm going to turn the time over to you guys. You just have to either just start talking or raise your hand and we'll call on you. What's working for you guys? Okay. No surprise here. Paul
Wait a
Thompson
minute.
raised his hand. Paul, unlike me, you are a marketing guy. So let's hear what you got to say.
Yeah, it's not been such a long time ago that I really wasn't a marketing guy. I've been in this industry since 2008 trying to make money. And I got to a point where I realized that everything I was trying to do wasn't working. And so what I had to do was learn how to do things properly. So that was 2 or 3 years ago. So since then, things have improved massively. I use predominantly Facebook. And the reason why I do that is because what we're all trying to do when we're promoting something is we're trying to get in front of an audience. And to me, Facebook is the perfect audience because it's already there. I know it's full of people who are looking to make money, masses and masses of them. So I've even written a bit of a script here because when you said at the beginning that you wanted to explore this, then I sort of scribbled some stuff down. So bear with me. You've got various choices when it comes to marketing. You've got email marketing, you've got safe lists, you've got traffic exchanges, etc. And then, of course, there's social media. So all of these generally require time and effort and money, with the exception perhaps of the social media. So looking at that, I realized that there was an accessible audience already readily available to me on Facebook. Now, I don't do Facebook advertising. I don't post in groups. I just use my own profile. And there's literally hundreds of thousands of people on Facebook looking to earn an income. So I recognized that that was my audience, and it was right in front of me. So and completely accessible, completely free of charge, and with minimal effort. So in working on Facebook, I found that the most important skill I could develop was how to develop trusted personal relationships. So that's first and foremost the best skill that you can develop when you're working on social media. So one of the things that you really want to be able to do on social media is discover what people's problems are and then solve those problems for them. So the problems, of course, are generally speaking, you need to have multiple referrals, endless numbers of referrals to be successful, to build any kind of realistic income. So that's one problem that we can solve. The other, of course, is that, in order to market in any of the other ways of marketing, that's very, very costly. And even if you're marketing on Facebook with something that requires lots and lots of referrals, that also costs a lot of money as well. So I've got a little post. This was the post that I first put up months ago when I first joined Pool Funding, and it solved people's problems, very short and sweet. And it basically was designed to show people that there was a way that their problems could be solved. I'm going to put it up on screen for you. You have a quick read of that. And that's what I started with a few months back.
I'll read it out loud.
Yeah, sure.
Get up to 9,000 per month with just 4 referrals that the company supplies you. 2 minutes effort per day. Message me for info. Nice. Love it.
There we go. And I got about 20 or 30 replies to that, requests for info. And so what I realized then along the way in working with those people, those leads and so on, that this was the best skill I could possibly develop. Do you want to read that one, Ace?
I'd love to. I have met with a new and profoundly deep understanding that the best skill to develop for success in home-based business world of ours is learning how to build genuine, real, valuable, worthwhile, meaningful relationships. Looks like you're having a party there. You have a lot of twins.
Yeah, well spotted. Yeah. So yes, yeah, I mean, social media is free. There's plenty of people on social media looking to make money. They're also facing lots of problems. And at the end of the day, we have solutions to those problems. And what we have to do is develop relationships where we build trust. And that's the way that I've achieved what I've managed to achieve. There we go.
Now, speaking of managed to achieve, your front line is how long right now? How many direct referrals do you have right now?
Well, I kind of stopped at 12 because what I then found was that my time was better spent working with those 12 to help them develop their teams.
Yeah, going deep.
Yeah, it develops a strong foundation, and when you have a strong foundation, then you've built on something that's durable and can prosper basically.
Well, I want to share one other thing. This goes way back in my Herbalife days. I learned this from some, I think it was Jim Ron who was promoting Herbalife way back when. It's who do you know? That's a classic, and it works forever. Just start your question out as who do you know, and then you can finish the end of it. Who do you know that could use some money right now? Because there's a giveaway. I want to tell them about it. You know, who do you know, right? Who do you know that's got 2 minutes a day that they'd like to use that they could help bring in $100 a day? Who do you know, right? Right? The who do you know phrase. So if you start the
Yeah.
sentence off with who do you know, you can do that with both people you already know and people that you don't know. You can say that who do you know to anyone.
It's a hook.
Good one. All right. So Paul, excellent. Well done. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else got something to share today? Who else got something working for them? And if you got phraseology, just like I've been mentioning some of my phraseology, that that also be good to hear. You know.
As for me, it's Cliffietta.
Hi,
As for me,
Cliffietta.
hi. I think word of mouth for me is good because I'm a talker.
Yeah.
Talk a lot to people. I'm a people person, so usually I can get someone into something by telling them about it. So I think, and also I agree with the young man who just finished talking. He was giving some good ideas, Facebook, because everybody's on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so between Facebook and just talking uh, face to face, I think that'll work better for me. Mhm.
Well, I just barely met you a couple of days ago, Cliffietta, and you're brand new to Pool Funding, and we're excited for you to come and be a part of our family here.
Thank you.
And something that I find is remarkable about you is how
Mhm.
service oriented you are. As your day is filled with many opportunities to serve. You have a ministry. The ministry is far reaching. You're meeting lots of new people through that ministry. Am I right?
Yes. Mhm. Yes.
and
Yes, sir.
and you're also doing things that benefit veterans, right? So veterans are
Yes.
near to dear into your heart. So you are associating
Yes.
with people who fall in that
Mhm.
category, meeting new people all the time.
Mhm.
Guys,
Yes.
if you don't have a hobby, get one. you know,
Yeah.
maybe it's horses. I don't
Mhm.
know. Just find something
Yeah.
that gets you out there, meeting
Yeah.
people. And especially if there's opportunities where you can volunteer or serve, and be a part of your community, you're going to just have an opportunity to meet new people. And
Yeah.
I think you're going to be huge. You're going to be gigantic. I can predict it right now. You're going to rise to millionaire status in Pool Funding super fast like a rocket. I have high expectations for you.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
There you go. Let's make it happen because I know you would know what to do with the money. Someone like you would put the
Oh,
money
yeah.
to
Lots of
good use,
things.
right?
Mhm.
You, you're,
I don't
you're,
know if I tell you that I'm on the board for First Steps organization,
which
the
one?
Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Ah,
We partner with her, with the we're with the state too. It's a statewide program. Help children learn to read. We give them books, 0 to 5. We give them books, and then we have uh, a portion where we teach parents how to, you know, teach their children, get along with their children, positive parenting program,
wow, that's
um,
nice.
Good
just
stuff.
some nice stuff, and
Stuff.
of course we have to raise money for, the help with the First Steps organization, but it's good, they put me on four different committees because they know I love to talk and they know I also love to raise money, and my pastor always said, "Well, you know the principle of sowing and reaping, so you'll always have,
Yeah.
But yeah, if we look at it that way, we'll do well. We sow into people's lives, and it comes back to us.
Wow, what a
So
wonderful contribution
Yeah.
you're making. So brand
yeah,
brand new and lighting a fire already. I love it.
thank you, thank you, bless you.
We're so glad that you're here with us today.
Each,
Yes, I am too. Thank you.
All right, who else has got something to share today?
I just put something in the chat there, which is a phrase that I use as well.
Let's see here. We are part of a private community dedicated to increasing the value of our community tokens. We are working towards building long-term wealth through the growth of our community, and we earn daily rewards for doing so. There we go.
beautiful,
That's nice.
beautiful.
Copy and paste. Copy, paste. You know, yeah, that's excellent. So let me rattle someone's cage here. The last meeting we had was our opportunity meeting back on Tuesday. Lisa popped up and shared her income testimonial, and we all appreciate that, right? We like to hear people that sharing their income testimonials and pool funding. But I like to pick her brain. What was she saying way back when you first got started, Lisa? Do you remember when you were just approaching new people, approaching people for the first time a year and a half ago?
Yeah, I was pretty much telling them I have a friend out in the Philippines that's teaching people how to earn money daily. I don't really get it yet, but he can explain it to you.
Yeah,
Because I really,
then you flipped them into my lap. That's what you did. Okay.
I did. I did.
That works. I'm everybody's friend, by the way. So you can all
I signed up people before I had my head wrapped around it, to be honest with you.
right. And
Yeah.
that's cool,
Mhm.
So the thing is, if you just create that third party call, and I'm the closer, I probably do a pretty good job there for you, So happy to do that. I make as much time for you guys as I possibly can, day and night. All right, and hopefully by leading by example in such way, each of you will pick up on that and see, as your team grows, it's an opportunity to serve. And I'm telling you, the rewards for service can't be measured in this lifetime. Okay, so
Right, right.
you're gonna get
Mhm.
rewards beyond your wildest dreams for whatever you do in the service of others. All right. Anybody else like to chime in? I know we got quite a few Filipinos here. What's working in the Philippines? No,
Rosalie,
no takers on that?
Doreen, Rosalie.
All right. All right. Well,
Hi, Ace.
hello.
That's a good question.
Nola from WA, Western Australia, back.
Hey, Nola.
I'd really like just to add to what Paul was saying. I've used a lot of Paul's scripts, and I too believe the key is making those relationships with people. I've only been involved since the end of February. I've got 4 referrals at the moment, but I've stopped bringing on anyone else because I am trying to help them get their referral and then help them get their referral, get another referral, because you put a lot of effort into getting your referral, and then if they drop off, that's the end of that. So yeah, I just want
Yeah,
to really confirm for everybody else what I've found, what Paul was saying is really works.
the way the 777 giveaway works is it really encourages people to get one person in their first 7 days, right? So that can carry on and carry on and carry on. And the hook there is that you need that one to upgrade from the 77 giveaway, 777 $777 giveaway up to the $3,000 a month giveaway. It's just you just need one referral to upgrade, right? So the way with that structure there, you have a hook. You have something to encourage that new person that just signed up. It's like you go get one, and then within that person's first 7 days, they'll each get one, and so on and so on. And then your team is growing weekly. Could be kind of doubling every week actually. Let me share a poster that was put together recently. If you guys aren't using this, maybe you should. You find it real here. It is. All right. Some of you have used this successfully, I've heard. Take a look at our powerful business opportunity. We provide the funding to get started. You will receive hundreds of dollars your first week without any expense coming out of your pocket to join us. Plus, this business takes very little time to operate. Wow, that's powerful. So how many of you been using this poster? Anybody here using the poster?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
You getting some nibbles on it? I hope you're getting nibbles on it.
I
Um,
got
yeah.
I did got one negative one.
You got one positive, one negative?
No, just one negative so far.
Oh, you had one negative? Why would they be negative about that? What was their point to make?
They told me the comment came back. It was highly illegal.
What the words on that poster were illegal?
No, the concept is illegal. I think what they're getting at is pool funding is illegal.
Ah, right. But the poster doesn't even say pool funding on it. It just were they referencing pool funding or were they referencing the poster?
Well, they just came back saying it's illegal. So I don't know what they were really referencing, but I guess that's what they were referencing.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that have opinions, but that doesn't mean their opinions are
Yeah.
correct, right?
No,
So,
I agree. I agree with
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
There's
what they
always
say
some
about
people think.
opinions. They're as common as.
Yeah, we all have.
But while I'm here, can I just ask another one off a completely different subject, possibly?
Sure.
But is there
Yeah,
a plan?
careful with that one, Ace.
Is there a plan of succession for when you die or pass on to be able to give your account to somebody else?
Yes. So the idea is that each of you have an account and you should be able to pass that on to your heirs. So as long as they have your login information, that'll be fine. So make sure you include that in your documentation, like your will and testament, whatever,
Right.
that's where part of your. And when you get really big, you'll put more energy into making sure your heirs are attached to it. And then also, we'll probably develop I've done this before with other things where we'll have like a segment of the website dedicated to, naming your beneficiaries, so we'll that's on the list of things to do. On the website is a place where you can name your beneficiaries. You can have their contact information in there in case of your demise. Eventually it's going to happen to all of us, I think, maybe.
Hopefully not soon.
Yeah, hopefully not soon.
Well, I plan to be raptured up, y'all.
That's it. Well, I'm encouraged by my father, who's he's
Yes.
well into his 90s and he's going strong. So,
Yes.
all right. So I think that's good. We had a good meeting today, guys. Some of you want to get creative, where you're recreating the entire concept of pool funding. That level of creativity is more of a hamper than it is a help. Okay. But where your creativity could help, if you have creativity that you want to express, is just messaging. Use your creativity in trying to identify something that resonates with a segment of the population. A message that would get their attention to come take a look at pool funding, come take a look at our giveaway, and just take a look at it. Right. So, yep. And don't worry about the trolls and the negative people out there. There's always going to be those people, and don't take it personally, because there's a lot of so-called experts out there that don't have any kind of documentation to prove that they're such an expert anyway. So, but the bottom line is, if I was really concerned that we're doing something wrong or harmful, then you know, I wouldn't be putting my face out there like I do. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I'm very comfortable with what we're doing. And I've looked at all the different things, you know, and there's reasons why, for example, we are not a network marketing company. We do not have a network marketing compensation plan. You know, there's a reason for that, because I don't want to be regulated like a network marketing company, right? It's really, really very regulated. We're more like affiliate marketing. If you want to put a label on us, we're more like straight line affiliate marketing. You know, you get paid from direct referrals. That's how you're paid, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. You can there's a million things like that out there on the internet that are, you know, they're good. You know, there's nothing wrong with them. Nothing, you know, no reason to shut them down. There's plenty of affiliate marketing opportunities, and we're just, you know, in that grouping of you know, affiliate marketing, paid on direct referrals only. So, there you go. That's good. We had a good meeting today. So again, we get back together on Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another co-founder training. I'll have a chance to meet some of our Filipino leaders here tomorrow. It's technically Friday here, so tomorrow's Saturday, so I'll be meeting with them on Saturday at our coffee shop. My wife runs the coffee shop here, and we will have a nice sit down and get together with them. I'm looking forward to that. So we have a lot of positive things in front of us. I think some of the concerns we've had in the past, we've addressed them. We're dealing with them, and we're putting everything in proper order, and that's as it should be. Don't ever expect the pathway to success to be obstacle free, or you know that there won't be, you know, stumbling blocks, you know, along the way. That's just part of the journey. That everyone that ever reaches the point of success, they can always look back and say they had plenty of things to overcome on their journey before they ever arrived at success too. So it's just part of the story that of success. And the great thing about pool funding is that we're not competing for that success here. We actually are a cooperative where we work with each other, because we don't want some of us to succeed. We want everyone to succeed. And so we've kind of designed that into the structure of what is pool funding, and it's set up so everybody can come out winning, right? That even the smallest among us can come out so much further ahead than had they not been a part of pool funding, right? So a person can look back, even the smallest among us will look back and look at what they received by being a part of what we have, and still say that's a whole lot compared to what they would have had they not joined pool funding. So everyone's going to come out ahead. Starting with our giveaway, it's a fantastic giveaway, and it just gets better as people participate. All right. So there you go. I look forward to meeting all of you someday in person. We'll be
That's gonna
making the
happen.
rounds. I'm a world traveler, and so I'll be making the rounds. So we'll get out there and meet y'all. So right now, today, I think we want to end by saying something clever. Let's see what we can do today. Let's see here. How about $1 a day? Something like that is all it takes, right? To make a difference. How about that? $1 a day is all it takes to make a difference. Everybody unmute and say,
$1 a day is all it
$1 a
takes.
day is all
$1
it
a
takes to make a world of difference.
$1 a day.
all right, so go
Yeah,
out there and
mine
buy
is
$1
different.
coin every day.
58 pesos. 58 pesos for Filipino make our team, our group different.
There you go. That's how many pesos you get for $1, right? 58 pesos.
58.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, guys. You have a great day, and we'll see you